alcoholism is a big problem.
I've had students who come to classroom with like a black eye.
పాప పెద్దగా అయిపోయింది పెళ్లి చేసేస్తున్నామని. What about the kids? How many of them have this problem?
This is in fact one of the biggest challenges we face as fellows.
గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి వచ్చే మనీయే సరిపోలేదు.
Welcome to Manataram. Congratulations and thank you a lot for being the first guest on Manataram. Sarit and Neha. Meeru, after your engineering was done, you've chosen a different path. And at these formative years of your life, you've chosen towards a social cause, if I may say so, to educate people with lesser background or who do not have as much as privilege as we do. So that is what I and we've personally felt was amazing. So that's why we've called you. Could you please tell us about TFI? TFI ante enti telinolaki for those of us who don't know.
Teach for India enti ante it's a non-governmental organization. What it does is it picks people from across various platforms. It might be freshers straight out of college or working professionals. So what it does is it picks these professionals and it places them in low-income communities where they teach, and they also develop leadership skills through that. So it aims to solve the problem of educational inequity through leadership.
A transition lo oka more or less naive, if I can, naive fourth year student who didn't know anything about teaching kids to someone who's like taking up and kind of oka 20-30 kids ni wala future mount cheyadam or వాళ్ళని teach cheyadam unna a transition. How did it feel the first time you're standing in front of a class?
So I'll talk about the first day at the government school. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత సైలెన్స్ ఎలా అంటే ఇలా చూస్తున్నారు అందరూ, నేను ఇట్లా నడుస్తున్నాను వాళ్ళందరూ ఇలా చూస్తున్నారు, నేను ఇట్లా నడుస్తే అందరూ ఇలా చూస్తున్నారు. I'm saying something and I have like 5 kids who are responding. మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా అడిగే వరకు ఏం చెప్పట్లేదు. ఒక్కొక్కరిది ఒక్కొక్క ఫేస్ ఉన్నది, ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఒక్కొక్క ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్. సమ్ ఆర్ ఎక్సైటెడ్, సమ్ ఆర్ స్కేర్డ్. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ నేను ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ లో ఎంటర్ అయినప్పుడు కొంచెం బాగా జిమ్ చేసేవాడిని. ఫుల్ కొంచెం హెఫ్టీ బాడీ ఉండేది అనమాట, ఫుల్ గా బల్కి ఉండే. కొంతమంది భయపడ్డారు కూడా పాపం. చిన్న పిల్లలు 7th graders ముందుకెళ్ళగానే ఇంతే ఉన్నారు, చాలా భయపడ్డారు ఇలా చూసి. అరే నేను కొంచెం షోల్డర్స్ దించుకొని ఏం చేస్తాం అలా మాట్లాడాల్సి వచ్చేది.
Wonderful. Neha, what about you?
For me, it's quite the opposite. Yeah, so I'll tell you about the first days in both schools. The first day in the first school, turns out they had already done all the research about me. They knew about me, where I studied, what I look like, because they asked the other fellow and they had already done the research on me. The first day I thought, okay, all these practices I know, I'm gonna have control of the class and all that. I walked in and half the children are at my height. And if I scream at the top of my voice, I couldn't even be heard till the end of the classroom. Nobody even listened to me. So they're just running around, and I heard all these stories about the previous fellows and all the difficulties and everything. So it was very shocking. I thought I won't even last a week. The second school, the first day, it was literally a scene out of a action movie. There were things flying around in the air. People were fighting with each other, giving them punches, and half the kids, they're not of my height, they're taller than me, and all the guys here in the 7th grade. I had to look up to them like this and talk to them and ask them to sit down, otherwise you'll have consequences. I didn't do a lot of call and responses, but for me, I got to a point, I just wanted, if I showed fingers like this and I counted it to like 0, all of them should be silent. So this is what I did. Every time the class was a little disruptive, I would just put my hand up and then start counting down from 5 to 0.
Yeah, nice. I think mine was 1-2 eyes on you. So I'd say it's a call and response. So if I say 1-2, they will say eyes on you. So when they say it in chorus, everyone else is also, they come sudden ga itla attention grab అయిపోతుంది వాళ్ళకి. That's one thing. Second thing I like is this one. If you hear me clap once అంటే ఇట్లా కొడతారు. అందరు కొట్టారు, మొత్తం క్లాస్ అరుస్తుంటది. ఇఫ్ యూ హియర్ మీ క్లాప్ వన్స్ అంటే ఒక 10 మంది కొడతారు. 40 మంది కొట్టారు. ఇఫ్ యూ హియర్ మీ క్లాప్ ట్వైస్ అంట. అప్పుడు ఇంకో ఫస్ట్ క్లాప్ విన్న వాళ్ళు సెకండ్ టైం కొంతమంది కొడతారు. సో లెట్స్ సే 30 మెంబర్స్, ఇంకో 20 మిగులుతారు. 20ని కొంచెం సీరియస్ గా చేయాలి, క్లాస్ ఇప్పుడు ఎంగేజ్డ్ ఉండాలి వీళ్ళు అంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ హియర్ మీ లుక్ ఎట్ మీ అంటాం. ఇలా చూస్తారు, అందరు చూస్తారు. అప్పుడు లేదు కొంచెం రిలాక్స్ అనుకో, ఇఫ్ యూ హియర్ మీ డూ లా అంటారు.
My kids are very, I don't know, none of these things would work on them. When we shout these call and responses, they would just answer for these and then they would get back to their own business. Like they would continue talking, they would continue doing other things. As long as something fun happens, they'll listen to you. After that's ended, they'll get back to their own thing. So,
I like how she said, my kids are not my students.
లేదు మై కిడ్స్ అని వచ్చేస్తుందిలే.
మీకు కూడా
ఒకసారి నేను చిన్నగా ఉన్నప్పుడు
annoying.
I took my kids to the school where I studied. Okay. And my maths teacher, she was the HM. She is the HM. So I said, hi ma'am, గుర్తుపట్టారంటే సరే తెల్ల అన్నది. లేదు, I was taking my kids to a debate ఇక్కడ అంటుంది. I dropped by the school. Your kids are అది. I said, no, I work at Teach for India. These are my children, my students అని చెప్తే అప్పుడు ఓకే అదే తొందర ఏంటి చరిత్రలేదు ఫస్ట్.
Yeah, happens.
Handling a lot of stakeholders, parents, teachers, kids and all. నాకేమనిపిస్తుంది అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్లో స్కూల్కి రావడం ఈజ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, బట్ ఆల్సో ఇట్స్ ది పేరెంట్స్ అబిలిటీ టు సెండ్ పీపుల్ టు స్కూల్. అండ్ at least the message that's outside is parents can incentive లేదు స్కూల్కి పంపించడానికి, and hence we have low literacy in India or something. So as a fellow or as the teacher for these kids, our incentives etla తీసుకురాగలుగుతాం for both parents and students.
Okay, so just to add perspective to that, okati enrollment is the issue and the other issue is dropout. So when I was looking into the MHRD's website, dropout ki major reasons ఏంటంటే for male it is either to engage in economic activities, లేకపోతే ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఫ్యామిలీ ఫైనాన్షియల్ కన్స్టెంట్స్ వల్ల, లేదా 3 lack of interest అనేది చెప్పారు. Whereas if that's for females, it changes to engage in domestic activities, లేదా financial constraints or lack of interest, or also getting married. So these are మనకి కావాలన్నా లేకపోయినా these are the stark realities of situation right now.
So like you said, both enrollment and retention are major problems. Those classes that we taught in 6th, 7th majorly, ikkada enrollment kante retention anedi pedda problem. The parents that we interacted mostly with, most of them are aware of the importance of education. They want their kids to be educated. వాళ్ళు చదివి జాబ్స్ తెచ్చుకుంటారు అంటే దే ఆర్ హోప్ఫుల్ అబౌట్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్. దే ఆర్ విల్లింగ్ టు సెండ్ దెమ్. But what disappoints them or what makes them take the kids out of the school is when they see the kids are not studying really well, or when they don't do well academically, or when they get bad feedback from teachers, or seeing the report cards and marks. So then they give up thinking that this is not going to work out. So why waste our limited financial resources on education? We can use the same help. A pillale vachi vallaki ante maybe if they are daily wage workers or somebody who is maybe a carpenter or somebody, they could always use a hand from their children.
Yeah.
That's what the boys mostly end up doing. And it's a valid excuse. I mean, we can't take that away. We can't change their economic backgrounds all of a sudden. We do a lot of community visits as well. So there are not many parents who don't send them to schools at all. Government schools and small low-income private schools, they send them. And midday meals, lot of daily wage workers send their kids to school because the lunch aspect is taken care of. And they need somebody to look after the kid while they're at work kada. So when the kid is at school and the lunch is being provided, that's incentive enough for them to send the kid to school. So I think now NEP also introduced a proposal to include breakfast. So that will be a good incentive as well.
Okay, so we'll come to the NEP part later, but before that, I think oka manchi point cheppa, which is that the thing of a trade-off. Like for example, parents ki they want to know that their child is doing fine in the school, like join chesi waste avvatledu. But వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఒకవేళ లేనప్పుడు you have a certain trade-off where వాళ్ళని ప్రమోట్ చేయాలా టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్, లేదా ఫెయిల్ చేయాలా?
This is in fact one of the biggest challenges we face as fellows, because what happens is in every school there are 2 to 3 fellows and the rest of them are normal teachers, government teachers or private teachers. So these teachers are used to passing the kids irrespective of their learning outcomes, because they just need the numbers. That's how it has been. So that lack of skills or lack of basics carries to higher grades, which will create a bigger problem. So at this stage, interventions like what Teach for India is doing, it's very necessary. It's absolutely important, because what we try to do is we not only try to teach them this year's syllabus, we also try to bridge the gap that has been there. It's not always possible given the limited time we are with the children. 1 year or 2 years is not enough to bridge the entire gap. There are also kids with learning disabilities sometimes in our classrooms, and that's something we are not equipped to deal with. We are not trained professionally to address those issues as well. So that's something that we struggle with.
అంటే TFI training లో isn't there like a class or a course on teaching for the disabled or something like that?
It's not that simple when it comes to.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, mark 1 year, 1 month outundi training, and that is just on regular pedagogy and stuff. Dyslexic kids, dyscalculia, dysgraphia. There's so many things which have their own skills required to teach such kids.
ఇంకొక చిన్న follow-up question ఉంది, wherein ఇందాక we were speaking of enrollment. So నా question ఏంటంటే, like even the government uses what is this called? It's called GEC అనుకుంటా, which is gross enrollment rate or gross enrollment rate, and that is sort of their metric to gauge or see how many students of a certain age group are in schooling right now. Does this enrollment give the real picture of the education system or what's been happening? People enroll aithe, is it guaranteed that okay, yes, they're definitely getting it?
Good question, and that's actually a good question. From what I've understood, if let's just say we have 80% enrollment, does that mean all the 80 out of 100 kids who are in the school are their future there is guaranteed for them to get a job? And that's the question, right?
Yeah,
that's more or less the question. Yeah, that's a good question, but you have to consider the dropout rate as well. You have to consider the failure rate as well. In this, enrollment doesn't mean that their future is bright, because ఒక్కసారి 80% enrollment ఉంది, okay, ఆ తర్వాత everything comes down to how the teachers are trained, how the school is functioning, how the kids are being graded, and everything after the enrollment depends upon the school. Not everything, most of it, because after that a lot of it also depends upon the family. Most parents lose their jobs and go back to the villages. Alcoholism is a big problem. I've seen people moving back to the village because their dads were not working anymore because they were addicted to alcohol. Single mothers అయితే వాళ్ళు చాలా కష్టం. నా classroom of 50, I think around 12 kids were raised by single mothers, and their problems are like another extreme anamata. Enrollment tarvata, these are the factors that are affecting the kids antunnaru. Okati school, okati father, okati mother, ala cheptunna anamata. One of my students had to drop out because her dad passed away, and her mom was like, Papa peddaga ayipindi, pelli chestunamani. We tried to intervene, we tried to do a lot of things, we stalled it. This was before I joined. Police ni kuda involve chesaru, but nothing really worked. Ultimately they took the child to the village and evariki cheppakunda pelli kuda chesaru. Harsh reality. Sorry to bring this up, but at the age of 15, she was also pregnant. That also happens, and you feel very helpless at times when you're going through this.
Yeah. So ఆ పరంగా చూస్తే ఫ్రమ్ దాట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఒక ఆ kids కి for especially for such kids of these backgrounds educating a girl child gani or to establish that gender equal norm that ఒక ఫ్యూచర్ లో అబ్బాయి వెళ్ళి సంపాదిస్తాడు అమ్మాయి పెళ్ళి అయిపోయి ఉంటుంది అన్న మైండ్ సెట్ నుంచి how do you as fellows change it or try to push it towards a more equal society?
Honestly, I didn't have a lot of scenarios where kids were dropping out because they were getting married or any such thing. For me, it was more of a religious bias. So mine was a co-ed school. The second year, it was a co-ed school where girls and boys studied together. After grade 7, from grade 8, they were planning to separate it as guys separately, girls separately, separate schools. And TFI was opposed to this idea because they were like, it has to be equal. But the parents in the community were like, if it continues to be like this, co-ed, they will start asking the girls to drop out because they shouldn't be interacting with guys at this age and all of that. This is one huge aspect in the community. They give a lot of importance to religion, and they wanted to choose a more religion-based approach. Like they wanted to work in a madrasa, or they wanted to become a religious leader. Talking to the parents and asking them to be part of different activities within the school, getting them involved in activities, exhibitions, and all these things, it will raise the parents' exposure to different things as well. So that is one chance of changing their mindset and making them look at the bigger perspective and what the kid is actually capable of achieving if they continue studying in the school instead of dropping out. So getting parents involved in their education is important.
The government also has taken a lot of steps, when it comes to the girl child. It's not that the girls are left to be annattuga kaadu. There are a lot of steps that the government has taken towards this to provide protection and safety to the girls. There's a number 1098 which all the kids know. It's for domestic abuse and all of that harassment and all of that. If they just have to call that number and they'll get the support that they need. Police వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చూసుకుంటారు అన్నమాట. It can be at home, it can be out in the community or at school. The kids are aware of that. So it's not like the women or the girls are not treated as equally. There are steps that the government is taking care to ensure that the girls are treated just as equal.
ఈ కమ్యూనిటీ ఉన్న స్టూడెంట్స్ కి గర్ల్ చైల్డ్ or a boy child, వాళ్ళకి if you take relevance of the content, I don't think they'll learn so much with regards to like history or memorizing facts, for example. But on the flip side, things such as hygiene or healthcare or good nutritious food or toilets are very important for the kids to understand these.
Someone from Teach For India హైదరాబాద్ ఓన్లీ వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారంటే పిల్లలకి ఒక న్యూట్రిషన్ గురించి అవగాహన పెంచడానికి మొత్తం ఫుల్ ఫ్లెడ్జ్డ్ గా ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ సెటప్ చేసేసారు. See, if you eat this, this is going to happen, this is what will happen. If you eat this, this is going to happen, this is how you'll become. ఇది లేకపోతే మీకు ఇది అవుతుంది. మాల్ న్యూట్రిషన్ గురించి చెప్పడం అలా. So it is not something that we consciously do. చాలా మంది బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ చేయకుండా వస్తారు. దట్ ఈస్ దేర్. ఆకలితో అలా కూర్చుంటారు లంచ్ వరకు. బికాస్ చాలా మంది పేరెంట్స్ కాంట్ ఫీడ్ దోస్ కిడ్స్ బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ ఆల్సో. చాయ్ బిస్కెట్ తిని పంపించేస్తారు, తినిపించి పంపిస్తారు. వాళ్ళకి సరిపోదు, అది యాసిడిటీ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. చాలా మాల్నరిష్ కూడా ఉంటారు. So that has to happen at a livelihood level where the parents are able to feed the kids and whatnot. So that's an entirely different sector, livelihood అనేది. అది ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కిందికి వస్తుందో రాదో నాకు తెలియదు. బికాస్ దాట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్సెస్ ద చైల్డ్స్ న్యూట్రిషన్. మేము ఏం చేయగలుగుతాం అంటే మహా అయితే ఇలాంటి ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఒక ఫెలో తీసుకున్నాడు, పిల్లలకి అవగాహన పెంచడానికి ట్రై చేశాడు. బట్ అల్టిమేట్లీ పేరెంట్స్ ఆర్ ద వన్ హూ providing these resources to kids, the food and everything. So that should come from another side of from another sector. When it comes to hygiene in the toilets, I don't think the kids understand hygiene the way we do. Bro, ఒక స్కూల్ ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ ఫార్ దిస్ ఇస్ ట్రూ. ఒక గవర్నమెంట్ స్కూల్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి ఎక్స్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ వస్తుంది ఫ్రమ్ ద డిఈఓస్ ఆఫీస్ ఆర్ వేర్ ఎవర్. ఫండ్స్ రిలీజ్ అవుతాయి. ఆ ఫండ్స్ ఆయమ్మకి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. ఈ ఫండ్స్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తారు వీళ్ళకి, స్కూల్ కి మెయింటెనెన్స్ కోసం. ఓకే, బీట్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చరల్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఆర్ హైజీన్ ఏదన్నా కానీ ఆయమ్మలు టాయిలెట్స్ అన్ని కలిపి ఎక్స్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ వస్తుంది. ఆ ఎక్స్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ సరిపోతే I wouldn't see my teachers, my government teachers, pitching in money to pay the ఆయమ్మ. ఆ మనీ సరిపోలేదు, గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి వచ్చే మనీ సరిపోలేదు. ఆయమ్మకి వీళ్ళు వాళ్ళ సొంత జేబులో నుంచి 500 కలెక్ట్ చేసి సాలరీస్ ఇస్తున్నారు. మన స్కూల్ మన పిల్లలు అన్నట్టు ఫీలింగ్ తో చేస్తారు. బట్ ఐ డోంట్ సీ దట్ కమింగ్ ఫుల్ ఫ్లెడ్జ్లీ ఫ్రమ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్. ఒక డెసిగ్నేటెడ్ జిహెచ్ఎంసీ ఎంప్లాయీ క్లీనింగ్ ద టాయిలెట్స్. ఐ నెవర్ సీన్ దట్, అట్లీస్ట్ ఇన్ మై స్కూల్. డ్రైనేజ్ ఏదో బ్లాకేజ్ అయిపోయింది, వాష్రూమ్స్ కూడా యూజ్ చేసేటట్టు లేదు. వీఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ ఏమంటారు పైప్ లైన్ వేయడానికి కూడా వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు వర్క్ ఇప్పుడు. ఐ నో అ ఫెలో హూ నెవర్ యూజ్డ్ the washroom in the school because she was scared of Nubbu, one of them, but this is not Neha. But she was very scared of using the washroom in the school. I never went to the boys' washroom. Ippadaaka na washroom ela untundo teladu school lo. Staff toilet kuda use cheyaledu nenu. This fellow who was scared of going to these washrooms, okkasari she used the washroom. Next day she had a UTI. UTI is urinary tract infection. Ala. Then what about the kids? How many of them have this problem? I never thought about it because that is also there. Hygiene is definitely a problem in at least most schools. And in Jappagalpanu, the one in which I worked, chala pedda problem untadi.
About the nutrition and just general awareness about health and everything, what Charit spoke was about at a larger scale, like livelihoods is a whole other department. On a small scale, what we even if you look at SCRT textbooks now, a lot of it is relevant for them. Like you don't just study about nutrition, there are a lot of activities that ask about their food habits or what is supposed to be healthy for them and all. So these are questions that make them reflect about their own choices and how they should be eating. So, and there are projects at the end of the lesson that ask them to maybe develop your own diet plan. One good example is during science projects, one of my class or Praveen's class, co-fellow, their class students, they picked up a project just to from the resources available. For example, the community is mostly Muslim community, so they eat a lot of non-veg, right? So based on whatever they eat daily, they made a balanced diet plan that they give out to the parents as well. So in that way, the parents are also aware of these things. So that gives them a chance to change their food habits.
మా స్కూల్ కి వచ్చేది మిడ్ డే మీల్స్ తీసుకొని వచ్చేవాళ్ళు అనమాట. ట్రక్ వచ్చేది అండ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ వేర్ దే యూస్ టు సర్వ్ ద మిడ్ డే మీల్స్ వెనకాల ఒక పోస్టర్ లా పెట్టి ఒక పెయింటింగ్ వేసారు అనమాట. మొత్తం డైట్ ప్లాన్ నేహా చెప్పినట్టు ఇంత పల్సెస్, ఇంత ఇది ఎగ్స్, ఇంత మొత్తం very well written on the wall, very painted. It's painted on the wall so that the kids, when they're being served, wala chusukoni, it's up to them inka if they want good nutrition adi తీసుకుంటారు అన్నమాట. అలా ఆ చార్ట్ చూసుకుంటూ they actually ask for it. But eggs are there, pulses, పప్పు ఉంటుంది, టేస్ట్ కూడా చాలా బాగుంటుంది నేను తిన్నా కూడా. I mean we have that feeling అదే ఏంది మిడ్ డే మీల్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి అని. All the rice కొంచెం గట్టిగా ఉంటుంది, బట్ ఇట్స్ నైస్ ఓన్లీ. సో దే హ్యావ్ రైస్, పప్పు, కర్రీ అండ్ ఎగ్స్. That's what they're served. And yeah,
I actually had a question on the midday meal. ఇప్పుడు newspapers లో చూస్తే 12 students fall sick, 50 students fall sick అని చదువుతాం, ఎట్లుంటుంది. But I think you answered. Right. So innaka there was another interesting thing, which is we were speaking of alcoholism, లేదా single parents, లేదా when death of a parent forces the student to leave school or anything. So the students that you've taught, వాళ్ళ environment or livelihood, like we already spoke, is chala different. Like they have different kinds of problems than what we do. So when your fellows or teachers elanti, like what are the things that you teach them? I think just to add, Neha, I remember you telling me the other day that for these students, it's not just teaching them, but it's giving them the opportunity to, giving them the power to leverage opportunities.
It's not very simple about when you're dealing with issues like these. There are a lot of students who suffer from abuse, and whose parents are addicted to alcohol, or some of them they face physical violence almost. It's a daily thing at their home. I've had students who come to classroom with like a black eye because father was drunk. He came home and beat up the child. So it's very common for them. And what happens is these children internalize all these things. Whatever happens at home, they kind of internalize all these things and they show it out in the classroom with other kids. So next the classroom, they have an argument or a difference with somebody, they lash out. What they see at home is what they do in the classroom. That's how children learn. What they see is what they learn.
Yeah.
So you have to teach them how to unlearn those things and how to deal with them in like a good way. That again, you need a lot of time. You need specialized attention for them lately, and it's not something that you can do in the classroom because these are sensitive issues. You can't talk about it in front of everybody. You have to sit with them separately, go through the things with them, give them, open up and tell you things voluntarily instead of you interfering in their business. So it takes a lot. And once they do open up, you kind of don't know if you're capable enough to handle all these things. So at times you'll do what you can, and if you have enough resources, you'll bring in maybe a counselor or you'll connect them to somebody who is well equipped with dealing with. And most of the time, these people are not even okay with talking to outsiders. Like if you the resources to connect them to a counselor, these people won't be willing to talk to outsiders. It's a taboo topic for. They'll be like, what will other people say and all these things. There are a lot of people also who go through a lot of abuse. The entire school is run by women. And they're all very strong, independent. They come to the class, they earn their own livelihood and all, but they are victims of abuse too. Sad part is, even though they're very strong and they encourage the children to speak up and all, they themselves don't speak up. To an extent, journaling has greatly helped some of these people channel their emotions, all these negative, and it has taught them how to be resilient and process their emotions without getting aggressive.
But yeah, Charith, నీ stories మీద చూస్తున్నా, you interact మీ స్కూల్లో you interact with kids around topics of waste management. ఎవరో ఇటలీ కూడా వెళ్ళినట్టు తెలుసు. What is the backstory behind it?
These are two things that you asked about. Waste management. I'll just talk about that, then I'll talk about the kid who went to Italy. So this thing, I took it up because other than just teaching math, I wanted to teach these kids bunch of design thinking, bunch of problem solving, collaboration stuff. So there's this thing called International Changemakers Olympiad. They take up initiatives such as these. The మొత్తం ఇంకా design thinking process start అవుతుంది. So what is the problem that you identified? Make a list of problems. Which is the problem that you think you can solve? How do you want to solve these problems? That is a process that I wanted to develop in the kids, which is why I took it up for my section of kids. And atla, so they came up with this waste management thing, plastic to ఇది చేద్దాం అది చేద్దాం అని కొన్ని workshops attend అయ్యారు బయట పిల్లలు. They made broomsticks out of out of plastic bottles that they cut just. So they watched it on a video on YouTube and then they made it. Whatever you want to call it, you call it under. They call it Eco Goods. So we made a poster called Eco Goods and we went to somewhere near Shilparamam and akkada ma kids, they sold their products also. Ento anta ammarle vachchayi oka 500 rupees vachchayi maku. And then there's another thing called KER Summit. KER and Kids Education Revolution. It's something that's a brainchild of Teach for India. There was a summit that happened, regional summit, and akkada kuda they put up a stall and they sold their products there also. More than just selling their products, it was about giving them an idea into balancing accounting కొంచెం చూపిద్దాం ఎంతో అంత, and then ఆ మనీని ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేయగలుగుతాం, దేనికి యూజ్ చేయగలుగుతాం, ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ని సస్టైన్ చేయగలుగుతాం ఆ మనీతో. it wasn't about making money. It was about కొంచెం business aspect of it. Where can we use this money into this thing అన్నట్టుగా. So all of that came into this waste management project. Lakshmi Narayana was my student. C. Lakshmi Narayana was my student who went to Rome. There was a conference on design thinking called ICANN Global Summit. Lakshmi has been like a star kid in Teach for India Hyderabad. Vaadu chala next level brilliant. Everyone knows this boy anamata. Everyone like in Teach for India. Although he's from my school, my class. Vaadu nenu vachinappude he started blowing my mind. He's very, very curious all the time. The kind of questions he has, and he's not just curious. Okay, he knows how to get his answers. So vaadu 7th lo unnappudu he took up a similar project with the previous fellow, Jyotirmaya అని ఉంటుండే. So he took up this project with Lakshmi, which dealt with waste management only. And when we applied for this ICANN Global Summit, Lakshmi spoke about this project, and they liked the idea, and they selected Lakshmi. A bunch of Teach for India children were selected. ఇంకా వీళ్ళందరినీ అలా కాన్ఫరెన్స్ కి పంపిస్తే అక్కడ కొన్ని దే హ్యాడ్ సేమ్ థింగ్ డిజైన్ థింకింగ్ సెషన్స్ అండ్ వేరే పిల్లలు వేరే కంట్రీస్ నుంచి వచ్చి వాళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లమ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అండ్ వాళ్ళ సొల్యూషన్స్ షేర్ చేస్తారు అండ్ ఆల్ దీస్ కిడ్స్ వర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ అన్నమాట. దే హ్యాడ్ మంచి ఎక్స్పోజర్ దొరికింది, బాగా ఫేమస్ అయిపోయారు ఇంకా పిల్లలు. ఇప్పటిదాకా ఇండియా నేనే దాటలేదు, మా పిల్లలు కూడా వెళ్ళిపోయారు. బట్ ఐఎమ్ హ్యాపీ ఫర్ హిమ్. రైట్ నౌ వాడు ఇంట్లో ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు అని మొన్న కలిసాను వాడి స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు బుక్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కి. ఏం చేస్తున్నావు అని అడిగితే హీ సెడ్ ధ్రువరాఠి వీడియోస్ చూస్తున్నా అన్నాడు. సెడ్ ఎందుకు ధ్రువరాఠి వీడియోస్ అంటే గివ్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ బాగానే పుట్స్ ఇట్ అవుట్. I said, Lakshmi, what about Dhruvrati's opinions? అంటే he said, well, I know that he has his own opinions, but so we spoke about the NEP, and I said, Lakshmi, NEP Dhruvrati చూపిస్తాడంటే ధ్రువరాటికి నచ్చిన పాయింట్స్ తీసుకొని చెప్తాడు NEP గురించి. నువ్వేం చేస్తావు అంటే పాలసీ మొత్తం డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి చదువుతాను నేను. ఓకే మై బాయ్, 9th grade.
మాతృదేవ భవ పితృదేవ భవ ఆచార్య దేవ భవ.
టర్న్స్ అవుట్ 6 months నుంచి విద్యా వాలంటీర్స్ కి సాలరీస్ కట్టలేదంట.
For them, education is not a priority.
We will have an Elon Musk from our country.
It might not affect you directly, but indirectly it affects the entire system, and you are part of the system.